I remember you told me a little bit of your single walk, and some of the pressure that you felt when you were single growing up in the church. And so I would love for you to share that story. What was it like for you as a single man growing up in this community, growing up in the church before you met and married Pastor Megan?
It was, there was, first and foremost, I mean, God gives us that desire as men and women to be married. And so, you know, I was in the ministry for about 5 years, you know, single. And of course, being the youth pastor at that time, you know, of course, I'm praying and I'm believing God for a wife. And obviously there's pressure from members in the church, as well as from even those in leadership. Hey, you know, when are you going to get married? And, you know, just all this pressure. And sometimes people are like, hey, have you thought about such and such? You ought to try to hook up with such and such, take such and such out on a date or something like that. And so there was just always this pressure, and the desire to be married is from God. However, the pressure is not healthy. And we'll get into this in a little bit, because it's important that we maximize the season that we're in to prepare us for the next season. And so one of the regrets I have is that I felt like I did not maximize that season to its fullest extent. I feel that had I done that, I would have been a better husband, a better father. I would have been better prepared, even financially, just the practical things of being prepared for marriage, had I really shut out those outside influences, as well as really consecrate myself and come under the leadership of the Holy Spirit and not listen to all the outside voices.
Yeah.
So it was a constant battle of just trying to stay focused. You know, it's just, and it's interesting because I feel that a lot of people find themselves in that position to where they're not embracing now. They don't embrace today. They're always 5 or 10 years down the road. Yes, it's important to have vision for tomorrow. However, it is just as important to embrace a vision for today.
Yes, I love that. And it's interesting that you say you felt the pressure as a man, because I feel like women, and I guess obviously I just, you know, thinking about if men are feeling pressure to get married isn't really a thought that I have, but I do know that women, we get that from the church. So obviously this episode, this is going to be on my podcast, and I've titled it, What I Wish the Church Taught Single Women, right? Because those are the questions that we get all the time. So where your man at? Where you ain't gonna have kids? Are you dating? And it's very interesting to me that those are the questions that society or even church people focus on, instead of asking things like, how is your single walk going? How's your relationship with God? How's your career, your finances? Let's talk about the Dave Ramsey steps, like other things that we can be talking about. But with the pressure, did that make you get into relationships before Pastor Megan quickly because you felt like you had to be married because that's what everybody wanted you to be?
Absolutely. And that pressure didn't just come from outside people. That pressure also came internally from me. And the negative, let me rephrase my statement. The problem with living under that kind of pressure is you lose your ability to clearly hear the voice of God.